And now I'd like to welcome from national organizer for the Hip Hop Caucus, Brandy Williams, and also founder Black Male Voter Project, Mondale Robinins. Welcome you both to BNC Live. It's a pleasure to have you, especially on Election Day. All right, so Brandy, we'll start with you. Today is the last day for Virginians to cast their vote and the race for the governor, which is close. Last I checked, I believe it was neck and neck, with Youngkin leading by about a point, but margin of error ultimately about the same, neck and neck. What makes this off-year election so compelling?
I think what makes it so compelling, for all the reasons that you guys just stated, that it has national implications for how things will pair in the 2022 midterm. But I think specifically for Black and Brown communities, it really puts all of our issues on the agenda. So if there are national implications and we have a midterm coming up, we really need to show up at the polls to make sure that the candidates that are pushing the issues that matter to our communities are being elected, because again, that they have national implications.
Yeah, we'll talk about calling all Black voters. I mean, they pulled out every stop. They had former President Barack Obama, Atlanta Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms. They had Stacey Abrams. I mean, you name it, they had these folks coming out. Mondale, do you want to add to that? What makes this election so different?
Well, I think what makes it so different is it's actually a national election that's having a negative effect on Black turnout. I don't think telling Black voters that you need to go to the poll for these people who are supposedly doing our best interest when they not showed us anything in DC to go support them. I don't think they're calling all Black voters by bringing Barack Obama, Stacey Abrams, and Keisha Lance Bottoms. Not that these people aren't Black, but it's that they don't speak to the voters that are suffering the most. And we saw this because in Georgia, like in Georgia in 2020, we were able to turn out Black men that did not vote for Barack Obama, that were eligible to vote for him. And part of that was because we spoke to these brothers about issues that were most important to them. We're not seeing the Democrats do that right now in Washington, D.C., and Virginia race is extremely close because of that. And I think this is the implications for 22 are there, and it's saying that if the Democrats do not act properly, they're going to lose that small margin they have in the House, and definitely that split they have in the Senate, unless they're doing what they promised Black voters.
All right, well, to piggyback off of Mondale, in terms of what have you done for me lately, President Biden's poll numbers in terms of popularity declining. Brandy, do you think that'll have an implication on this race and the others that are taking place today?
I definitely think that, you know, as Mondale said, it's what have you done for me lately? And because we aren't seeing that, I definitely think it will have implications on voter turnout and also thinking about the issue. So that's why it's extremely important for us not to think about party or who's with what party, but really to think about what's in the best interest of us and our people. And if we have not seen that, then we should not be turning out the vote for people who do not show up for us and our people.
So, Brandy, are you basically saying that Black people should not be voting today?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying pay attention to the candidates, pay attention to their positions, pay attention to what you believe in, and vote your conscience. Vote for issues that matter to you and for people who align with those issues. Definitely show up to the polls.
All right. Well, with that being said, let's now shift to New York. We know that they're dealing with their mayoral race right now. Things are right now, I believe, I apologize. I lost my place and I also lost my train of thought. Adams is leading. That's what I was trying to get out. Adams is leading now in the polls against Sliwa. How do you think things will shape up in terms of New York? And if Adams actually wins, he'll be the second Black mayor of one of the largest cities in the country.
I think.
So
Honestly,
I'm not sure how it's going to shape up, but I definitely think it's extremely important, again, for everybody that heads to the polls to think about the issues. One thing that hip hop is known for is being honest, authentic, and transparent. And so you need to evaluate those candidates on how honest, transparent, and how accountable they will be to you and how accountable they have been. That's really important. Again, it's not about party lines. We are in a crisis situation in almost every category that you can think about. And so we have to be vigilant about taking care of ourselves.
All right, Mondale, final word.
Yeah, I think the fact that Eric Adams, a former police officer, is the leading candidate for New York tells us where we find ourselves as Black voters in this country. This is a person who does not support where Black people in New York and also where the majority of Black community is as it pertains to reducing and defunding the police. So I'm a little nervous that what we consider the most progressive city, or one of them in this country, is about to elect a police officer to run that city in a time where everybody's screaming about crime, truth, more crime and more policing. So I'm nervous about that. I do think he's going to pull this out, and it's not even going to be close.
All right. Interesting point, Mondale. Mondale, Brandy, thank you both for joining us. I ate up some of your time with that brain fart, so thank you for your patience. It was a pleasure having you.